Hi there, just recording my introduction to this sixth and final, module on the Macedonia name issue. It's an issue that I've been interested in for a long time. I lived a couple of years in Greece, spent some time in Thessaloniki, a few months in Thessaloniki in the north of Greece. And I saw one day, I was in a police station, and I saw a sticker there saying Macedonia is Greece. I thought, wow, that's really interesting. So that kind of got me interested in the whole issue. When I did my dissertation, on mostly on, well, it was certainly on this issue, but it was in particular. We'll have a look at a map in a second, but in particular, I spent a lot of time with a group of people who were refugees from the Greek Civil War. They had been taken for their own safety, evacuated, depending on who you talk to, up from the north of Greece where the civil war was raging, up into the communist countries of Eastern Europe, the democratic countries as they called them, almost invariably. And they were taken so that their mothers could then go to the front on the communist side of the civil war, where most ethnic Macedonians, people that spoke this Macedonian language, who nevertheless lived in northern Greece, they were fighting almost all of them on the communist side, because the communist says, if we win, we'll give you your own schools, your own churches, and your own language in Greece. And so they were so the people that I was hanging around with there were children at the time that they were evacuated into these other countries, and they came back. But when they came back, the people that I spoke to, they didn't come back to Greece. They came back to this other Macedonia. And let's have a quick look at this map, and let's explain things a little bit more. I'm giving you just a little bit of background here. Well, we're not quite at the, quite a lot of background probably. This is, as I said, this is the thing that I spent probably most time thinking about over the last 10 years or so. Let me share my screen. Here we go. So hopefully you can see this. I don't think I've tried this on record yet, but I don't know, I have done actually. Anyway, have a look at this map. This is the southern Balkans here. We've got Albania over to the west there, northwest in this picture. But you can see marked on the map, you've got Greece, Bulgaria, and what we now call North Macedonia. And you'll see a few lines there. It's kind of explained, I suppose, on the map. The thick sort of purpley grey line, that's the modern geographical Macedonia. I do the study abroad class during the summer with Professor Sivak, where we go here to this region, and we call it Borders in Macedonia. And the Macedonia that we're talking about here is this geographic region. Geographical region bounded on this map by the purpley grey line. That's geographic Macedonia. Within there, we can see some divisions. First of all, let's quickly mention this red line here. This red line is the ancient Macedonian kingdom, approximately, right? Depending on who you are, you might argue it goes a little bit further into here. And certainly, like, that whole region was influenced. It was an important kingdom, and its influence stretched beyond this border, probably, right? So that's the ancient Macedonian kingdom. When we go on the study abroad, right, by the way, if you'd like, hopefully we can go next year. It got cancelled this year due to the coronavirus. But when we do that, we go to the tomb of Alexander the Great's father, Philip, and we go and visit his tomb, which is just quite close to Thessaloniki, that you can see there on the map in the green section. The green section is part of Greece now, and it's been part of Greece since the end of the First World War, roughly speaking. About in 1917, I think Thessaloniki becomes liberated. That whole green section there becomes part of Greece about 100 years ago. Okay, at that time, before that time, I should say, it was part of the Ottoman Empire. Greece from 1830. From 1830 starts to become independent. First of all, just the very southern part of Greece around Athens, and it goes up kind of gradually over the next 50 to 60 to 70 years, I suppose 70 years, when it eventually encompasses roughly modern day borders. On the other hand, the other large part here of geographic Macedonia is what we now call it's an independent state called North Macedonia. It was before part of Yugoslavia, and while it was part of Yugoslavia, it was called first the People's Republic of Macedonia, which was a constituent republic of Yugoslavia. Was it the Narodna? Anyway, I think I'm forgetting mine. There was like the Socialist Republic of Macedonia and I think the People's Republic of Macedonia, and so it changed between those two, and I can't remember which came first. I think the People's Republic and then the Socialist Republic. Anyway, and then when it got independent in 1992, it got rid of the socialist part. It became independent from Yugoslavia and was called the Republic of Macedonia. Okay, so at that point in 1992, that's where we sort of pick up the modern story, the modern conflict between Macedonia and Greece. And the conflict is based on the name Macedonia. The Greeks, which see the green on the map there, and you'll see sort of the line separating departments, or not really states. They don't have the same structure as the United States, but like, you know, departments probably like France, maybe counties is a good translation. Regions probably is the more common one, actually. Regions, one of the regions is called Macedonia. In fact, you've got Central Macedonia, West Macedonia, and East Macedonia and Thrace. West Macedonia and Thrace and East Macedonia. I forgot where Thrace is. Anyway, there we go. So we've got 3 Macedonias in Greece, but Macedonia is that Greek North country. Thessaloniki, second biggest city in Greece, very important. Port in the Balkans for a long time, and we go into that on our study abroad. We talk about the history under the Ottomans, and maybe slightly before the Ottomans as well. Important city to the Ottoman Empire too, especially important city in the Balkans. Important to Greece today. They call it the co-capital. It's the second biggest city in Greece. So we have this trouble now between Macedonia, and you can sort of think of it in terms of worries about territorial integrity. Right? Greece looks and they say, you're making some sort of a claim by calling yourselves the Republic of Macedonia. Then the Macedonians that we have, the Macedonia that we have in Greece, that's Greek. This is the first problem. Do you have territorial pretensions, right? If you're calling yourself the Republic of Macedonia, then are you claiming to include some of the regions of Greece in that, right? That we've only just won back from the Ottomans, about 100 years ago now, a few generations ago. And that's certainly one worry. Another related but probably slightly distinctive worry is this from the Greek side. You're claiming our ancient heritage for yourself. You're trying to use ancient history that belongs to us, the modern Greek state, that we base our legitimacy, our nationhood on, but you're claiming that for yourself. Alexander the Great was Greek. You guys are not. You're not Greek. You're Slavs, and so you shouldn't be able to. And there's some sort of a risk to us, to our the thing that makes us legitimate, our link to ancient Greece that makes us a legitimate nation, is now being stolen, right? Along with perhaps artifacts, right, and culture and names, right? And so as a result of this, in 1992, when they became independent, the Macedonians used a flag when they were first independent that had a symbol on it called the Verina sun, which you can see in the tomb of Philip II, which we look at when we go there on our study abroad. So that was an issue that said, look, you're claiming our heritage. That's our symbol. You're using it on your national flag. That's a threat to our nationhood. Or you're an illegitimate claimer of this nationhood, of this identity. And so Greece blockaded Macedonian trade to Macedonia. and shut them off from the port of Thessaloniki. You'll see there, Macedonia, North Macedonia is landlocked, a landlocked state, and so it relies to some degree on the port of Thessaloniki, to some significant degree, and so cutting off any trade through that port to to Macedonia, the Republic of Macedonia, as it was certainly at the time, recognized by many states by that name. It was cut off, and so they made some changes to the flag. The flag is now a different flag. If you look it up online, you'll see a different flag than when they initially started. And the other thing that you'll see is some changes to the constitution, some changes that disavowed any sort of territorial pretensions to any kind of Greek territory or any other territory for that matter. They downplayed, I think originally the constitution said, this is the Republic of Macedonia, it's an independent country and it's a country for all Macedonians. There's a minority still to this day that live in northern Greece that identify as Macedonians. And certainly the people that I spoke to, and this is the reason why I kind of we were interested in talking to them, is because they, of course, are a diaspora, people who were born in northern Greece, who have a wholly Macedonian identity, Slavic Macedonian identity, who were then, as I said, taken evacuated to Romania, Hungary, East Germany, Poland, Czechoslovakia at the time. I've probably missed some countries, but that was probably the main ones that I remember. Anyway, and then when they came back to Yugoslavia, to the south of Yugoslavia, in the Republic of Macedonia, the Socialist Republic of Macedonia, the Popular Republic of Macedonia, whichever, depending on the time that they went there. They went there, so they didn't go those extra few kilometers to the south, back to the villages where they were born. And so I got to travel with them down to the villages, across the border. Very interesting. I suppose I should look up my dissertation on Google Scholar if you'd like to hear more or ask me about it. I can talk to you more about it. But this is my brief introduction, so I've already gone a little bit longer. So that's the situation that we're in. Very interesting conflict to me. It's about identity. It's about nationhood. It's about building a nation. And what do we need to build a nation? What happens when we start to build a nation? What does it do to our neighbors around us? And so following this case between Greece and North Macedonia has been something interesting for me. There's two theoretical readings this week. One of them is talking about the antiquitization of North Macedonia. And so you'll see a lot of the things that I've talked about will be talked about in detail in that paper. There's another theoretical reading this week as well that deals with the Greek response to that. The context for this is that as well as the changes in the flag and in the constitution, we had last February, over a year ago now, we had an official change in the name, constitutional change in the name, from the Republic of Macedonia to the Republic of North Macedonia. And that was a result of an agreement between Greece and the Republic of North Macedonia, whereby Greece agrees to stop, to allow, I suppose, to drop its objection to Macedonia, North Macedonia joining NATO or joining the European Union for that matter as well. And in return, they changed their name from the Republic of Macedonia to the Republic of North Macedonia, which, as you can see from the modern geographical Macedonia map there that we're looking at, sort of makes sense, I suppose, geographically, right? I am going to end. I hope I've given you enough there to help you on there towards reading these readings and asking questions about them. And I look forward to seeing your answers there. If anybody's interested in the study abroad, I hope that we'll do it again next summer. We've definitely had people both from online students and on campus, traditional students, join us there on our study abroad. We spend most of the time in Skopje and in Thessaloniki, the two cities that are actually on this map, and we travel between the two through some very interesting border areas and meet some really, really interesting people, really good people. So I will, again, finish here and look forward to seeing your questions.